Bonjour class. Today we will be talking about dates, days, and months. First, we will begin with dates. First, I want you to notice that I have a couple circled. These can be exception ones. I'll continue, start. For conjugating the first, second, third, fourth, the way it normally works is, you can come over here. You have the number plus e grave, right? Everybody remembers that. EME. This is how you make a date in French. However, if you notice, if we were to do this for number one, this means one would be this. And if you want to look and see what I did as number one, clearly that's not the case. So this, number one, the first day of the month is always an exception. It is première. Second follows the rule. You have deux plus e grave me. Deuxième. Third, troisième. Four, quatrième. Everything's good so far. Five is a rule breaker. Cinq is just CINQ. But if you did not have, we put a U in. The reason the U's in is it softens the sound. Remember how I told you last lesson that French don't like hard sounds. They like smooth words. That's called liaison in French. So instead of saying cinquième, it's cinquième. Smooth, cinquième. So it goes CINQUI E grave ME. Now we're moving on. 6 is sixième. 7, is septième. 8 is huitième. 9 is also a rule breaker. It would have had an F. However, because it's an exception, and for liaison again, it changes its F to a V. So it becomes neuvième. And then 10 is dixième. If you wanted to continue with 11, 12, 13th, it's just that simple. It's onzième, douzième, treizième, quatorzième. You can get the rest. Let's move over here. Before even looking at this, I want you to look at this, guys. How to say day is jour. Okay? So one day is the same as saying un jour. Okay? How you say week in French, as in like a school week, not that you're weak in the knees, that's semaine. Okay? So now we'll go to the days of the week. We have first Sunday. Sunday is dimanche. DIMANCHE. Then we have Monday, which is lundi, LUNDI, followed by Tuesday, which is mardi, MARDI. Wednesday, which is mercredi, MERCREDI. Don't let that trick you guys. Thursday is jeudi, JEUDI. Friday, vendredi, VENDREDI. Saturday, samedi, SAMEDI. Now we'll move on to the months. First, we have January, which translates into janvier in French, followed by February. And note that with February, there is an accent in it. I'm not going to say what accent it is because you should know from the last lesson. But note that there's an accent in février. Next is March. Comes Mars, France. April, avril. Only change is a P for a V. No change in accents. Similar with May. May and May. English, French. Difference. In English, it's a Y. France is a Y. It's an I. June and Juin. July, and this is a rule breaker because it doesn't look anything at all. Juillet. Had to commit this one to memory. Juillet. 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 We have August. Becomes out. AOU circumflex T. Out. August, out. September, October, November, and December, all very similar. You'll find that the ends simply change, and December will get an accent. You can tell me what accent it is in a second. But September becomes septembre, R and E switched. October becomes Octobre, R and E switched. November becomes Novembre, R and E switched. December becomes Décembre. Now, you guys know what accent that is? That is an accent aigu. And that's the end of the lesson for today, guys. Au bientôt.